I don't usually bring this up because it makes me sound crazy, but something that happened to me in 2017 still messes with my head. I was staying in a rundown apartment complex in central Jersey. 3 floors, all brick, probably untouched since the late 80s. The kind of place with flickering hallway lights, cracked tiles, and doors that didn't quite fit their frames. I shared the apartment with my roommate, Matt. He worked overnight security at a shipping facility, so most nights I was alone. One Thursday evening in early February, I came home later than usual. The second I stepped onto the stairwell, I caught a weird smell, burnt rubber and something citrusy, like an old industrial cleaner. That scent hit me hard, triggering this jolt of emotion, like I was stepping into someone else's memory. By the time I reached my floor, I was hit with pure déjà vu. Every step, every breath felt rehearsed. I stopped just short of my apartment door and thought, the light will flicker twice, someone downstairs will yell, then something heavy will fall at the far end. It all happened, in that order. I wasn't even scared yet, just stunned. I brushed it off, until it happened again. The next night, I was watching TV eating cold takeout, and again, I knew what was about to happen. The exact lines from the show, my phone buzzing, even the song playing on a neighbor's radio. Over the next few days, it got more intense. I started writing predictions down, and every time they came true, I'd know when Matt would text or when the dog across the hall would bark. It wasn't memory, it felt more like a reminder of what was coming. Then came the dream. I was lying in bed. The door creaked open. Matt stood there, sweaty and pale, saying, "There's someone else in the building." His voice sounded flat, like an audio recording. I asked him who, but he just stared. That dream repeated every night. But on the 5th night, it wasn't a dream. At 3:12 a.m., the door opened. Matt stood there. Same voice, same words. I followed him out, holding a baseball bat. He pointed toward the stairwell. There was no one there, but the hallway, something about the shadows, they didn't feel real. We called the police. They found nothing. When I told Matt everything, he looked me in the eye and said, "I've been having the same dreams." We never talked about it again. The déjà vu stopped that night, but sometimes I still get flashes. A smell, a sound, a flicker in the light, and I brace myself, because if that door opens again and I hear those words, I don't think I'll follow this time. Sometimes I wonder if memories aren't memories at all, just echoes from a version of ourselves walking a few seconds ahead in a parallel world. I moved out 6 months later. I've driven past that building since, and every time, it feels like something inside me wants to go back. Not for closure, but because maybe something is still waiting. My name's Liam, and this happened a few years ago when I was 17 and my brother, Jesse, was 19. We live in a quiet town bordered by woods. There's a trail behind our neighborhood that goes deep into the forest. We always heard rumors, abandoned buildings, creepy cabins, but we never went, until one cloudy Saturday in October. We grabbed flashlights and some snacks, told our mom we were going hiking, and set out around 3 p.m. It was a nice walk at first. Leaves falling, cool breeze, but after a while, I started feeling off, like I'd been here before, even though I hadn't. I remembered details, trees, conversations, even a broken fence post we hadn't reached yet. 5 minutes later, there it was, just as I pictured it. Then I remembered something stranger. A 2-story greenhouse with chipped paint, broken windows, and vines crawling up its side. I saw it clearly in my head. And when we finally reached the clearing, I froze. It was the exact house. Jesse walked ahead, excited, but I stood there, stomach sinking. I hadn't said anything to him yet, but when I finally did, I told him I remembered this. All of it. He just laughed it off. The front door was slightly open, creaked as Jesse pushed it open. Inside, it smelled old, mildew and dust. Furniture lay in pieces, wallpaper peeling off. There was a fireplace, a staircase, and a long hallway. We explored the first floor, both of us on edge. Then I said something I didn't even mean to say. "I remember being here before." Jesse stopped and stared at me. I said, "I remember this kitchen, that hallway, even a woman upstairs." He thought I was messing with him. I wasn't. Then creaking, upstairs, like footsteps. Jesse dared me to check it out. I refused, so we played rock, paper, scissors. I lost, but still wouldn't go. He went, slowly. I followed, but stayed near the top of the stairs. He opened the last door on the right. Then he froze. Without warning, he screamed, pushed past me, and yelled, "Run!" We didn't stop until we were out of the woods, gasping for air. When I asked him what he saw, he said, "There was a woman in there, staring out the window like a statue." He only remembered her shoulder-length, grayish-blonde hair. He kept asking how I knew someone would be up there. To this day, he swears he didn't make it up. I believe him. Something was there, and somehow I already knew. During the weird part of 2020, when lockdowns lifted but things still felt off, I started feeling like my life was looping. One night, I was driving home from my girlfriend's place. It was almost 2 a.m., light snow on the road. There's a notorious four-way stop near my street. No lights, just signs, and on snowy nights, it's a gamble. As I neared the intersection, something felt wrong. Not fear, just a deep, eerie familiarity. So I slowed down. Seconds later, a black pickup blew through the stop sign from the left. If I hadn't slowed, it would have T-boned me. I pulled over, heart pounding. But what shook me more? I remembered that crash, the sound of impact, the shattering glass, the pain. It didn't happen, but it had. In some version of events, it did. I blamed it on stress, pandemic anxiety, until it happened again. A few nights later, I predicted a song before it played. I remembered a woman walking her dog before she appeared. It felt like I was reliving moments instead of experiencing them. Then came the dreams. Same road, same crash, each night more vivid, until one dream, I saw myself dead in the driver's seat. My own face, eyes open. That morning, I swore I'd take a different route. I did. Later that day, I got a text from a friend. "Did you hear about the crash at Millstone Avenue? Around 1:30 last night. Same time, same car model, same place. Someone else died instead." To this day, I wonder, did I remember my own death from another timeline? Was I rerouted at the last second? Or did some version of me not make it? Before I worked in IT, I spent 2 years doing overnight shifts at a care facility in upstate New York. It was old but functional. Most residents were elderly but stable. There was one woman, Miss Adeline, 87, quiet, kind, always humming to herself. She kept a faded photo of a little boy on her nightstand. No visitors ever came. My nightly rounds were simple, but every now and then, I'd find her sitting up, staring at the ceiling. One night at 2:15 a.m., she said to me, "You already asked. You do every night. But tonight's different." Her tone was flat, robotic. I smiled awkwardly, offered her water. She declined. The next night, she said the exact same words. The third night, she was gone, passed peacefully in her sleep. But I couldn't forget her words, or the timing. I checked old reports, notes left by other staff over the years, and I found it. Several nurses had written similar things, that she spoke in loops, predicted their actions, even said one new nurse's name before they introduced themselves. One note from 2013 read, "You take your break at 3:07. You always do." And the nurse had glanced at her watch. It was exactly 3:07. It was like Miss Adeline was stuck, repeating the same cycle, waiting for it to end differently. Now, years later, I sometimes feel it too, that eerie pull of déjà vu. And when I do, I stop and listen, because maybe it's not just memory. Maybe it's a message from someone caught in the loop, like Miss Adeline, still humming, still watching, waiting.